Super Daytona 250, biggest race of the season. You just gotta give it all to us. What do you think is going to happen here today? Because the new drafting package, it's a lot of hungry guys. What do you think is going to be going on?
You know, it's completely random. Anything could happen. Anyone in this field could take the win today.
I think that is absolutely true. I mean, there's a lot of weird stories going on into this race, you know? It's Good Square's final season, you know? Which is, or supposedly. It might be one of those see you next week situations, but he's been around for so long, I would not be surprised if it is his final time around. But if this is his final Daytona 250, he would love to go for another championship, you know? He's probably the most successful Jackal driver. He's definitely one of the most well-known drivers on the platform.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that Good Square definitely has a chance today to win this race. He was very strong. He was very strong during the duels. And during those duels, he got himself into a good position, got himself into the field, and that's what he needed to do. He's also got a lot of teammates helping him. So I'd be looking out for Good Square to win this race. Now, Brian has no titles. But he's certainly going to improve himself this season over last time around. He's been focusing a lot more on Jackal. I was actually talking to him the other day. In the VC over in my league. And, you know, he's barely got time to do other things. He's really focusing on Jackal. He really wants to succeed here in this league.
Yeah, it's a great league.
It is a great league. Very good league. Very good. Very strong field here today. But the most interesting thing in this race, if we look at our pole sitter numbers here, he's a rookie and he's on pole. He also had a substitute driver, Lightning, who came to his aid and substituted for him and won the first duel. And then in the second duel, Lightning actually decided, well, didn't really decide, it was kind of decided for him by what happened around him. He spun and he ended up not making the field, which is just really unfortunate when you're, you know, you win a duel and you still didn't make the field. That is kind of the worst stroke of luck possible.
Yeah.
And Joel Moose is lagging, so I don't know if we're going to get started here. Who's your pick to win this race? Mine would be Sleasher. I'm just saying.
I do like Sleasher. Great driver. But I can't pick anyone this early. It's just way too early, you know?
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the drivers are going to handle the new draft package. And
yeah. They did a testing session earlier with cars, and it seemed to work pretty well. It was very too wide. I think it did something with the side draft. I'm not entirely sure what they did. But as everybody's doubling up now, I gotta say it's gonna be Sleasher in this race. I feel like he's probably the safest pick to win this thing. But he's actually currently not on the scoring board, so I don't know if he's actually made it or not. But if Sleasher ain't gonna be here, it's gonna be Remy, because Remy is also an incredibly strong plate racer. Cruisen's also up there as a guy who can definitely win it. But
I can tell you one that I didn't expect to be on out on the field today is Shulk.
Shulk, really?
Yeah, I really wouldn't expect him to be in the top 12. He's a great driver, don't get me wrong, but just not one of the top 12.
Yeah, well, he actually had an interesting, very eventful duel, to say the least. A lot of incidents as they come here. I think this will be the green flag. And here they go. Green flag is out. Lap 1 of the Daytona 250. Cruise them on the outside, numbers on the inside. Now we see them too wide, but they're already trying to file down. Down to one groove down there.
Well, 3 guys stuck outside, though.
Yeah, and they lost a ton of spots. And now the outside line's going to get a couple more cars as Zane DeTrain and Joel Musa come up. And Creasen's going to start working those lines, I think. Gets a big run on the high side, big bump from Zane DeTrain. Gabe actually, no numbers, just kind of got abandoned. And now they're wrecking at the back. And good save there. They all held on to it, so they'll stay green. These cars are very stable. They, you can really take a push in these cars, you know? And once they get sideways, and once they get sideways, they're pretty easy to save. But if it goes all the way around on you, these cars are kind of hard to get yourself, you know, pointed back around the right direction. So it's a double-edged sword, you know? And no number says he's lagging. That must be why he dropped back there. But everybody's kind of filed down the bottom. Joel Musa goes sideways, and Good Square gets sideways as well. A lot of smoke there. Very frisky early in this race. 100 laps. A bit early to be getting involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that too much. It's not
Yeah.
exactly the time for that, you know?
Yeah, it's too early to be getting yourself into a lot of dangerous situations, lots of wrecks and such. And I think that now that everyone's filing down single file, I think these guys kind of do understand. It's a long race. We haven't even made it to the pit cycle yet. Don't want to get yourself in a wreck and get yourself stuck at the back of this field all day.
Yeah.
And it's
You got a two group or one group pack up ahead. They're
Yeah.
starting to split off, but you can catch up real easily with this draft
Yeah.
package.
especially on. That train of cars back there is in no danger of losing the draft. They're just kind of holding back right now, generally.
Yeah, pretty much. But here they come on the inside. But that outside, they got a strong outside. Bunch of cars working up there together.
And car sideways down there. It's 8K Isaiah, and he's gonna go sideways.
Around and
yeah, big wreck there, upside down. And a bunch of cars got all out of sorts. AK Isaiah is still backwards. Shulk is upside down in the corner. We're still green for some reason.
That should have been race back.
Yeah, but we are still green.
I guess we'll bring it around again. It could be, I think we're doing 3-car wrecks. We'll bring out the caution.
Yeah, well, I guess Shulk is still upside down, by the way, so they're just going to come around and probably plow directly into him.
Yeah, this could be bad.
This could be very bad for the field here. And finally, the caution does come out as they enter the corner. So caution will come out. Very late caution call, about a lap late, but
let's hope they stay low. Everyone can stay low.
Everybody stays low. And we don't. And there's some smoke again as I caught Rona goes sideways. Here comes the race back. Remy on the outside isn't going to have help though, and that's going to get Blackstone right past him. And Joel Musa as well, I believe, passed him before the line.
I believe Joel Musa got third.
I don't know. It looked like Joel maybe got him right there at the line. His car kind of wheel hopped there. You saw the back end go up.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was interesting. Now, this race, only 6 laps in. A lot of lap racing to go, but we've already had our first flip. I almost feel like we should have a flip counter because it's a Jackal Daytona race. There's going to be a couple calamities.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We should get a flip counter, yeah.
Yeah, flip counter's at 1 right now. I'm just going to box that up here. I have my notepad here. Very professional. I got this notepad at Office Depot for $4, so we're going to use it. So I believe the pits will be open this time by. Restarts will be single file. That was the same way it was in the duels. But any reflections of what we've seen so far? Super.
Well, Remy, you said Remy is a strong plate driver. He's sitting in 2nd place, so that's proven to be true.
Yeah. He's very strong on the plate tracks. I've seen a lot of him in BIRA and also here. He's not especially patient, I wouldn't say, but he knows how to time his runs. It's kind of interesting.
Not the best pit from him, though.
No, not the best, but, a lot of these pit stops are going to be kind of janky, and we got a car sideways.
Good square.
Joel Musa overshot his box. Remy takes a very long time to get out of his box, but he'll get out eventually.
It's where
and he'll actually file out, I believe, 3rd. Or 2nd, sorry. I wonder if Joel Musa is going to pit again, though, because he did not get service, I don't think. Yeah. He's still got worn tires. And not much
going to be good for him.
That's not good. He said he's asking if the pits are open next time. I think he's going to come down again, try and get the fuel and the tires there.
Yep. Not sure what he's
only
doing.
attempt this way through the race. I think we'll be on like 90 to go when we come back to green because we're gonna have to go around at least one more time for Joel Musa to come down pit road.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they're
Joel might get lapped here because if he pits, he's gonna get lapped.
If they go green this time, which I don't think they're going to. Yeah, they'll be 1 to green this time, so he'll be able to get back on the tail end of the lead lap.
Probably.
But this is going to be I think this is going to be a very sketchy race for Joel Musa now because now he's stuck at the back, and that kind of changes his pit strategy. He's got 1 more lap of fuel, so he can probably long pit on the actual mandatory pit stop they're going to have to do midway through the race to make it to the end. Yeah. He's going to have to long pit on that, or he's going to be able to. He's also going to be stuck at the back of the field, and that's where trouble seems to break out, So we will see what happens. Also, Numbers is off track, I believe. He was complaining about lag earlier, and
yeah, he'll have to grab a sub.
You may have to. I don't know. I don't know if you can do subs after the race has already started.
Well,
I actually know the subbing rules here.
I think you can get a sub if you're having technical issues.
Ah, all right. We'll see if anything comes of that. We'll send our expert reporters down there to find out. We don't have any expert reporters, do we?
Nah.
Unfortunately, but Commander Remy's going to bring him to the restart zone for the green flag. He's got a pretty big lead on Blackstone Warden there. I wonder if Blackstone's going to get a run coming into one. Green flag is out. Everybody's single file. Nobody fans out in the tri-oval quite yet. Everybody just tucking into line. With the single file restarts, I feel like they're almost more likely to, fan out multiple cars wide because it's advantageous to take your run if you're single file like that. And Blackstone Warden loses a couple spots there. He slid up out of the groove.
Yeah, but he'll get a good file in. Shulk left him a good little gap to get in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shulk, I think, lifted there, kind of checked up Kreezum and everybody else. Joel Moose is still chilling at the back. And Chris Paul checks up and comes out of line. A couple of cars going high, but I don't think they want to be up there. I don't think there's any real high side yet. We'll see. Is
looking at it.
Good square on the bottom now. Just pushing Commander Remy all the way around this place. If you push someone on a corner entry, sometimes they'll just slide up the track, That can get you the spot that you want. But again, good square in his final season. How nice would it be to win your Daytona 250 in your final crack at it,
Yeah, that would be amazing for him, and I'd be happy for him too.
I'd be very happy for him. I think that'd be a really great moment here. So we're going to be at 90 to go this time by. So 10th of the way through this race, and the first 10% of this race has been marred by one flip and a very long no caution call. But other than that, it's been very clean. Everybody's kind of just biding their time.
Yeah, for the most part.
Not much to be gained right now other than just riding around.
Yeah, just trying to hold on to a position, maybe gain a couple. You don't want to try too much. And
it's a long race, so there's going to be time to get back to the front if you get shuffled back, so there's no need to be sending it super hard in there and causing a bunch of issues. And, no, far up and over. So I caught Rona upside down on his side now. That was 3 of the B and C cars.
All 3 of them?
That was all. Actually, 8K Isaiah got through that.
Yeah,
but I caught Rona, got up on his side. We were talking about that exact thing happening right there. People trying to get positions. I think that they were trying to link up on the outside line there.
It just didn't work, though.
Saw a couple of cars pulling out there, yeah, and certainly didn't work for AK Isaiah, or for I caught Rona. And Remy leads on the race back.
Yeah, the Blackstone Warden and Chris Paul both got caught up in that incident.
Yeah, that's just a disaster for those guys. I mean, not what they wanted to see today. And I caught Rona is eventually going to come around.
Eventually.
And they have all forgiven. Blackstone Warden has forgiven Chris Paul, so that's good to hear. No one's mad at each other. And I caught Rona has finally come around 25 seconds after everyone else. Pits are going to be open, I assume. But yeah, that's our second wreck of the day. So,
would you consider that a flip?
He went up and over. I'll call it a flip. I'll call it a flip.
Number 2.
So 2 cautions, 2 flips here. Jackal Daytona. And Joel Moose is saying they wreck more when they go single file. We were talking about that. Now, you're a driver. At least I assume you are.
Yep.
Interesting if you weren't. But I know you've driven before, like in a few places most likely. Do you think that you wreck more when you're single file or double file?
It really depends on the track. Daytona, double file, it can be dangerous. But single file, it gives you the incentive to go double file.
Mm-hmm.
And that can cause more wrecks because people are trying to get to the outside or maybe the inside, depending on where you are.
I think that's definitely a possibility. I've experienced that in NR as well. That people will pull out a line, on single file restarts and cause bigger wrecks than they would on double file restarts. Because in double file, you can't really pull out a line. You gotta just stay in your groove. I experienced that in an NR race earlier, so it's certainly something that can happen. And Shulk has been sent to the back. So that's unfortunate for him. And no penalty for Joel Musa. So everyone's going to file back around. And we're going to have these guys getting back at it again. And NASCAR's MK is on the track. And we're going to have these guys getting back at it again. And NASCAR's MK is on the track. And we're going to have these guys getting back at it again. And NASCAR's MK is on the track. 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 And NASCA
I believe he probably had some
Maybe
technical.
something
I
for
think he had some
someone.
technical issues, so he had to
Oh
join a
yeah, he
little
is.
late.
Is he in the field? I forget. I think he is.
Well, judging by the fact that he has his Division 2 license and not Division 1, I believe he's a sub.
He's most likely a sub. I wonder if he's subbing for the
14.
yeah.
Who
Oh,
is
he's in the 14 right now. He hasn't changed his scheme, I don't believe. But we'll see. That's interesting. Schulk goes down pit road, gets some tires. When you're sent to the back, you might as well go through pits again.
Yeah.
Might as well just get some fresher rubber. Actually, no, he didn't pit the first time. That was the issue. He didn't get his tires first time around. But on this restart, I think we're going to do ourselves a little crank it up. I think that'll be pretty good. Hear these motors revving up. So when these guys get to turn 4, we'll shut up and give y'all about 2 laps of these boys running around wide open at Daytona. Before we do that, though, is your pick still? Who's your pick at this point in the race? Now that we've seen them feel each other out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Good Square's been running pretty good. You got Remy running pretty good as well. And though one thing that did sway my opinion is if you keep making bad pit stops like Good Square, you're not going to win the race.
Well, here they come to the restart zone. Green flag is out. And that's a pretty good restart there. We're going to do a crank it up here in just a moment, waiting on the call from the production vehicle. They go too wide on the restart.
Yeah,
big move on the outside of the by Zane the Train. I think we are actually already on the crank it up. I don't know.
Oh, hold on, gotta check.
I assume so. All right, we're gonna do a crank it up right now. So we'll see you on the other side of it. All right, we can talk during the crank it up because he mutes our mics. So
that's great. All right, well.
So, welcome back. We're back here, and Schulk runs into him. So that is our third caution and our third flip. As you saw during the crank it up, a little bit of a calamity at the front of the back straightaway, coming out of turn 2. A couple of cars got together. One of them went sideways across the pack, and then we had I Caught Rona flip at the tail end of that wreck. Very interesting right there. What'd you see there? I want to hear your analysis of it before I give my own incredibly hot take.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't see too much of what happened there.
Oh, were you looking at the front of the field there?
Yeah, it really was.
See, for me, to me, it just looked like they all got together.
Yeah.
And it was just an unfortunate situation there. Because a couple of guys got together. And yeah, that's just unfortunate. Not really much else to say about that. A couple of guys just got together at the back, and one of them got sent sideways up the track. Couldn't actually make out who it was. I think it was Blackstone Warden, maybe? I think it might have been Blackstone. Either Blackstone, Drill Musa, one of the black cars, got sent sideways across the pack. And then everybody else just kind of piled in there. Everyone's going to come down pit road, get some new...
Except for Schulk.
Yeah, except for Schulk. Schulk's staying out. I guess he does have an extra... or one less lap of wear on his tires. I think it was Chris Ball and Paul sideways. I don't know. I don't know if we get replays on these. If we do, you'll see. But
great pit from everyone.
Everybody, no real calamities on pit road this time. Yeah. Nobody bumping each other through their boxes.
Everyone's straight.
Yep. Remy's gonna pull out a line. My game's lagging a little bit. Like closes.
Good Square gonna come out second.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good
field position.
Yeah.
I have narrowed it down. Remy and Good Square. One of those two have got to be my pick.
Those are your picks? For me, it's Good Square, Remy as well. And also, Chris Paul is subbing for V. Colby. That's why he's out here.
Okay, good to
I
know.
think we talked about him earlier. You know, one person we have not mentioned during this broadcast outside of just saying his name? Joel Musa.
Yeah,
We ain't spoken about him yet. He's
not too much.
a strong driver. Like, he's like almost a sleeper candidate. I think he's won championships in mesh leagues similar to Jackal before.
Yeah.
But people just sleep on the guy. I don't know what it is. The guy's obviously incredibly skilled and talented. I believe they'll take the one to go this time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's obviously incredibly skilled and talented, and I would definitely say that he's a sleeper candidate to win this race, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting second place. He's got good field position. We'll just have to
Got
see
good
how he
field
does
position.
on the
Doesn't have
restart.
any other Fords around him, though. That is going to hurt him. I guess he's got the leader in front of him as a Ford, but if you're the, second car on the team in line, you're not going to be trying to pass this early.
Yeah, nah.
But he's in a very good spot. So we're about a fifth of the way through this race. Let me cross that off right there. 3 cautions so far. And we talked about how the draft package is different than it was for the duels. And you got to wonder if that is impacting the way these guys are running, you know? Because these guys are definitely running a lot more aggressive than they were during the duels.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
First duel, I believe, was 35 laps and went no caution all the way. I know it went green all the way. I forgot my last one. I think it was 35. But it's certainly a different kind of package, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They're running a lot more 2 wide. It's a lot more like you'd expect to see out of a Jackal Daytona race, honestly, and certainly very exciting to watch. As they come to the restart zone, Schulk's going to take the green flag. And there we go. Green flag is back in the air. It's got Joel Musa behind him, Remy behind him. And look at the big stack up back there. What is going on?
Not too sure, but Schulk kind of... Oh, and he's going to come back into the pack.
Wonder if his screen froze. He was talking about that.
And Rona going to come around again.
Yep, I caught Rona again, sideways. Spinning it. Looks like he got it back going again. I don't think he's even going to lose the draft. That was certainly sketchy. Joel Musa actually went outside during all of that. He's got good square pushing him. Remy on the inside with 8K Isaiah to push. And you see the outside line broke up there because they weren't organized enough.
Yeah.
That's the thing with forming an outside line. If everything else is equal and both lines have the same amount of cars, the inside line will be better. So the outside line has to make up for that. It's to compensate with better organization or better timing or something, you know?
Or more cars.
Or cars, exactly, because the inside line will always have a shorter way around the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, with only 21 laps into this race, entirely surprisingly, these guys are...
Schulk gonna tap off the front left quarter panel of Zane.
I don't know what that was. It says it was bumper lock. But
well, now they've got a draft buddy back there. Rona got.
I think those guys will probably be just fine. There's going to be another caution at some point during this deal. They'll be able to get back into this pack, but that is certainly unfortunate for them. And the 83 NASCAR MK is MK subbing for Thunder, Thunder was supposed to be or not Thunder. Sorry. Gosh, how do I forget his name when we were talking about him so much? I'm dumb.
Numbers.
Thunder and Numbers. That was our big story. How Thunder subform made the field for Numbers, and now Numbers just has to go. So there goes our big story. But NASCAR is MK. How interesting! That'd just be the most interesting weekend for that 83 team. 3 different drivers running 2 different races and winning the 250. That'd be such an interesting story. It could happen. I mean, NASCAR is MK is certainly competent. See him right now running up that front pack.
That'd be a crazy story to tell.
Absolutely crazy. It's Commander Remy winning at a plate track. That's not crazy. That just happens all the time. He's got a pretty good lead here. He's got BNC swag behind him. 8K Isaiah, followed by Creasem, Good Square, Chris Paul, Blackstone Warden. I was going to say Zane Detrain, but he just shuffled himself out of line. Joel Musa and the NASCAR's MK. Something we haven't seen during this race yet, blown engines. I don't know if you watched any of the duels or any of the preseason fun races here at Daytona.
Yeah, I have.
A lot of engines letting go. So far, that has not happened here.
Well, when you draft too much, you can overheat your engine and blow it up, and you do not want that. I'm not sure if when you pit it'll fix it or if you're out. But
yeah, when you pit, you go a lap down when you blow an engine as well.
Yeah.
So And the outside line is starting to organize back there. You see BNC General, that's Chris Paul with Joel Musa pushing him. Wonder if those two can actually get something going out there on the outside lane. We were told the outside line to be a bit more alive during this race, and it certainly has been. We see some passes out there.
Yeah,
5 cars on the outside, 4 on the inside. If Good Square gets up to Zane, the inside line's going to have some real problems.
Yeah, that's 5 against 4. You know, we were talking about the more cars you have on the outside, the better.
Oh, no, and AK Isaiah gets knocked out of the groove there by Creasem. And now the outside line coming with a big run. Remy blocks. BNC General Chris Paul nearly wrecked. That was very scary. He was about an inch away from causing the big one there. But this whole front 9-car group, 3 wide for the lead now. Chris Paul in the middle, Creasem on the inside, Remy on the outside, just losing ground. He's going to try and file into line. He can't quite get in. Zane Detrain and Joel Musa do not let him in line. He's going to go all the way to the back as Creasem takes the lead. Chris Paul with a big run on the outside, though, by Joel Musa. Now, this racing right here, are these guys getting aggressive too early?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's a good assumption. I mean, they are getting very aggressive. I mean, we got two lanes, got the outside and the inside, and they're just trying to pass each other. And personally, I would be going single file instead of 2 wide. I mean, it's a good way to wreck.
Yeah. The thing is, going single file is it's not as interesting to watch, but it's a lot safer, and it gets you to the nitty gritty of the race, the pit strategy, a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't think anyone's saving fuel. I'm watching these guys throttle. They are on that W key all the way around the track.
Oh yeah.
Or the trigger if they're using a controller. But come on, use controller.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, honest. I mean,
maybe the guys in the back, maybe they're.
Oh, Blackstone Warden shuffles out of line. Must have had a screen freeze. Honestly, with his car just went straight.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. But Good Square now back into second. Now they've seemed to have settled down. They had that little stint of going 2 wide all the way around the place, but seems like now they're single file. They're all lined up. They're ready to just run some laps now.
Yeah. Although it was very interesting to watch, this is much safer.
This is much safer, and it gets us, to that pit strategy, and that's where the real nitty-gritty of this race is. At the end. Oh no, Remy around.
A little hook there. He's still going backwards.
He's still going. Oh, gets the air underneath the car and saves it. Wow.
That was amazing.
That was incredible. Tell me, how hard is it to save one of these cars like that?
When you're going backwards for a good 2 or 3 seconds, it can be hard. I mean, you think
he got the air under that car and somehow did not flip. I don't know how that happened without him flipping over there. But, gosh, that was just incredible. I just went back on the stream, which is a little bit delayed, and watched it. And
oh my god.
He got sideways, got the air underneath it, nearly blew over. That was a great save there.
You got to thank the guy behind him, though, because he probably gave
the guy behind him pushed him back around. He was so lucky that guy was there, and that guy didn't, check up and try and avoid. So for once, an ARCA brake helps everyone. And now Remy's back up in the pack. I like how he's gone from blowing over to running in 5th. That was pretty quick turnaround there. Here on lap 28. Good Square goes up high. NASCAR is MK. The most interesting story this weekend is that 83 car. And right now, oh no, we got some smoke. And they saved it.
They're going to hold on to it, yeah.
They held on to that. But yeah, someone in chat was asking if they're running slower. Yeah, they are running slower today than they were the other day. But that is to, I guess, make things race a little bit better.
Remy kind of dived below the yellow there, though.
NASCAR's MK also did, but I think he was forced. They're 3 wide in the middle of the pack. A little bit early to be doing that, and Blackstone Warden really squeezing Zane. He actually shoves him below the line again. But we're 3 wide, and look at Creasem. He's just so far ahead of everyone right now. Here comes the outside line there. Here comes Chris Paul sending it into the corner. You don't want to get too far in front because then everybody runs up on you, So.
Yeah, they'll get a good run if you're too far ahead. Blow right by you.
And right there, he could barely block that run. Now, at this point in the race, what are your thoughts on pit strategy? Because we're supposed to be pitting between lap 57 and 70. But do you think that because of those early cautions, they can push it further on?
Well, with all these cautions, people in the back.
No! Oh, that's not good. And they're still smoking, but looks like everyone's going to hang on to it. I think that was just a bad bump right there.
Yeah.
Came at a bad time. But get back to what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah, no. What happens. Good Square, though. I was going to say, with pit strategy, with all these cautions, you know, if you're in the back, like good squares right now, and there's a caution, you're gonna pit. I mean, there's no point not to pit if you're in the very back. So guys like that who are in the very back and pit on later laps like this one, they're not gonna have to pit.
Yep, and there goes Remy again, up and over. This time they ain't saving it. That's 2 cars involved, 3 cars. Caution is out. Remy with another flip here today at Daytona. That is the 4th caution and 4th flip.
He went
tumbling. That was a lot of cars. That was almost the big one. That was pretty big right there.
He went up and over to about 2 or 3 times.
That was very interesting there. And it looks like everybody's going to get here on the race back. Joel Moose has got a big run. He's going to win the race back to the line. And now pit strategy gets a bit more interesting now, I think, because of this caution. Because now you might be able to try and push the field and pit at like lap 75.
Yeah.
So 4 cautions now. And
all of them.
That was just incredible
flips.
There. Yeah. This is a wild race right now. I mean, these guys are getting really aggressive. I feel like maybe somebody in that VC just got to go in there and say, hey, guys, we got to back it off a little bit. 100-lap race. Ain't got to be racing so dang hard.
Yeah.
And right now, Zane Train pulls onto the apron. He's probably typing right now.
Might be a little mad after that incident.
You think?
Maybe
just a little bit. That was a very interesting wreck right there, though, man. That was same band Extreme Motorsports from all Daytona races, I think he's saying. That's
yeah, he is. He's definitely
He's
mad.
a bit mad about that wreck. He's probably a bit mad about the way the racing's going for him, too, right now. Although he is in second, so they're going to pull him to the pits.
Looks like everyone's coming in.
Yeah, looks like everyone's going to come in once again. Now, why don't you run through these pit stops while I get myself a good drink real quick?
Yeah, sure. Mostly clean so far. Good square coming in good. Cream's coming in good. NASCAR gonna stay out, not pit. That's a different. No penalties. Well, actually, BNC Swag or Isaiah, his tires over the line. Might get called for that.
I wonder. I don't think he'll get called for it. Looks like the officials have not turned their ire towards him.
Lucky for him.
NASCAR's staying out. And Creasem appears to have an issue with his car or something, or he's getting a sub. Oh, Sleasher. Sleasher's back, so...
Hey, it's Slunker.
But yeah, Sleasher's back out here.
I might have to change my pick.
Yeah, now Sleasher's back in the back. Throw everything out, you know? That car is going to be very, very strong.
Definitely.
Now, somebody asked in chat. I like going through chat and listening to questions. With how the racing's going at the moment, how do you think the final laps are going to look like? I'll throw that one to you first.
What was the question?
How do you think the racing's going to be in the final laps? It's been this aggressive this early.
It's going to be like this. With how aggressive they are, it's going to stay the exact same if they keep going like this. I mean, nothing's really going to change.
I think right at the end, it's going to come down to people trying to link up with their teammates and such, you know? And try to get the move they need to get to win the race.
Well, see, that's hard because with how much everything gets jumbled, it is almost impossible to stay with your teammates.
I mean, we saw that in the duels yesterday as the green flag comes out, NASCAR's MK leading. But, yeah, that's very interesting there. And Sleasher and Remy can now work together because they are, you know, on the same team. Same with Icot Rona. So that's 3 cars right there that are on Extreme Motorsports might be able to link up and try and win this race. They have been very strong all the way through the speed weeks, and I would expect them to continue that here. As everybody kind of shelves up to the high side, Remy nearly got turned by 8K Isaiah. He's trying to get into line somewhere. Inside line lets off for him. That's the 3 team cars linking up there at the back. See that?
I was about to say something about it.
That's 3 14 cars getting back in line there for Extreme Motorsports. So
yeah, they're going to be looking to work together right here.
I feel like now's the time of the race when you guys start thinking about that, thinking about coming down, pitting with your team as well, you know, for the pit strategy.
Yeah.
And we're coming towards where, you know, you can pit and make... Oh, no, good square down. Icot Rona nearly flips on the transition between the road course and the oval. Keeps it straight, though.
And, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, that random stuff. It just split them up.
Now that team's got to try and get back together. And I Caught Rona is currently all the way at the back of the field, and Sleasher and Remy have to work together all by themselves.
That outside lane
as the 83 and
is
26
really
start getting away. But this race has been very entertaining so far. A lot more cautions in the duels, but that's to be expected because these guys are racing for, you know, the biggest. This is the biggest race, really. This is the most important kind of deal you got.
First race of the season, big points.
Daytona, you know, you want to start your season off on the right foot, and this is how you do it. And they're going to go 3 wide for second right now. Watch Blackstone Warden on the bottom. He might be able to get to the front here. He's got Remy and Sleasher behind him. They're going to go 4 wide, 5 wide now for 4th place.
That is not what you want to be doing.
Going on.
Still 5 wide. 4 wide now. Remy, Blackstone, Sleasher, and Chris.
Josh, going 5 wide like that, man, that's
dangerous.
That was dangerous. Very entertaining. They didn't mean to do it, but they certainly did not mean to do that.
What blows my mind
they just wanted to go 2 wide, but, you know, a couple of guys checked up, got out of line, and suddenly you got 3 cars abreast. Now you got 2 cars spinning. Shulk in good square. Looks like they're going to save it.
Yep.
And Shulk still spinning around. Hits good square again. No caution. And we stay green.
None of them let off when they went 5 wide.
Yeah.
They held on to it.
It looked like, yeah, none of them really let off. They all kind of stayed on it. Maybe a little bit of letting off to not get into the car outside of you or inside of you. But for the most part, it seemed like those guys were just holding things there, you know? And now that we got Sleasher leading, or not re-leading this race, but he's on the inside, he's pushing NASCAR's MK, and those guys are going to the front, you know. If Sleasher gets to the lead of this race, I am pretty sure we can safely say that Extreme Motorsports are exactly where they want to be, even if they are a bit split up right now. As they go 3 wide in the tri-oval. And Sleasher now still 3 wide for the lead. Joel Moose has got BNC Swag, AK Isaiah, Chris Bald Paul on the outside as well pushing. They're going to pinch Sleasher down here, but Sleasher gets separated from his push car. But here comes the push. Remy and Warden get together, and now Sleasher is leading the race. I mean, how long did it take? It took him about 5 minutes to get up to the lead. He loses it now, but what, he got into this race on what, lap 31 or something like that, and now he's already up there. Oh, and there he goes sideways. Commentators' curse is real, I tell you.
Yeah.
We start talking good about someone, and immediately he spins. It was a good save there, though. Just had looked like it was the guy inside of him got into him a little bit there, and he got sideways, but keeps it straight enough. And once again, we got these Toyota cars trying to link up. And Blackstone Warden gets sent for a spin there by Sleasher. A lot of side contact.
He'll merge back up, though. He's going to hold on to it, going to get back with the draft, catch up to Rona, sitting back there.
Chris Ball Paul right now got Sleasher behind him, and, you know, people want to work with their teammates, but they'll work with anybody right now, you know?
Yeah, like, I know that Blackstone and Sleasher, they're pretty close. They're pretty good friends. They were working together.
Yep, and now Sleasher gets hit in the quarter panel by NASCAR. That got Chris Ball Paul sideways as well. And that just shows you the chain reactions that can happen here at Daytona. One car pushes one car wrong, and that gets a huge chain reaction going. And Joel Musa on the outside now with Chris Ball Paul getting pushed inside of him. And AK Isaiah, I wonder if at some point during this race we're going to see the leader start trying to work the lanes like that. You see AK Isaiah going from a high side to the low side there, blocking runs, laying down draft, you know.
You know, I got respect for Isaiah because it's not all the time that you just stay outside all the way through the corner to give that draft to everyone else on the outside. That was me, you know, I'd drop.
Yeah, usually the leader drops in the corner even if they're coming up on the straights if they're working lanes. And like that right there, you saw he held the outside line. He eventually did lose the lead, but that was a good little run there. And here comes Remy with BNC behind him. It's Chris Ball Paul. I really got to just start calling him Chris Ball Paul. I know the guy. But he changed his username again, or his display name again. But Sleasher is going to get Remy to the front, NASCAR MK, and you can see we got 4 Toyotas lined up there on the bottom. That's the Extreme Motorsports boys, and they are exactly where they want to be once again. I mean, that is just incredible. They also got Good Square, currently not linked up with them because he's out of the pack, but he'll certainly be able to help them in the closing laps of this race. He'll be able to get back up in that pack on pit strategy, I'm sure, if they time their pitting right, that Extreme Motorsports crew.
The Good Square and Shulk are looking for a caution to come out because they're sitting way behind the pack right now.
This is probably the longest green flag run we've had today, definitely at this point. But at a certain point, you know, these guys are probably going to have another wreck. It's a long race, and Law of averages says, look at all the Fords coming out. What a
huge
perfectly
run.
timed move. And a not perfectly timed push by Blackstone Warden. There goes
spinning
Rona.
around.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able to stay in the draft unless they do a perfect rotation here on the exit. Let's see what they do.
Let's see what happens. Oh, is
They're
he gonna
just going
do
to
like?
keep going backwards. That's.
Is he gonna do a Fast and Furious and whip it around? I think he's gonna try
He's
it.
gonna
There
try.
it is.
Yeah, nope.
Ah,
And he
man.
spins it again. And now NASCAR's MK up and over almost in the pack.
Joel around as well.
3
Three cars backwards.
5 cars.
Oh my
And
god.
Zane Detrain gets the air under the car. That's the big one right there. Lots of cars caught up in that one.
Ooh. We had 4 cars going backwards at one time.
Yep, caution is out. That was a really, really great green flag run by these guys. And now Shulk and Icot Rona and Good Square, they all get a good break there because of the caution coming out. Everybody slows on down.
Exactly what they were looking for.
Really exactly what they needed. But this is just an incredible, incredible deal right here.
You know, what was your take on all of that just happened?
I think that wreck kind of got caused by just some bad push in there. We saw those Fords pull out.
Oh yeah, had a great run.
But yeah, we're gonna try and get Sleasher in here. Get a quick interview with him mid-race.
Oh man, the slunker.
Get him in here.
Slunker.
Run these green flags. Okay, caution. Sleasher's here, hey Sleasher. So you came into this race on like lap 30 after having a sub driver, and you just came out there and immediately started running at the front with the Extreme Motorsports guys. Tell me, are you guys planning to work together all the way through this thing like y'all did in the duels?
Yo, that was the plan heading in.
That was the plan heading in. All right, and that wreck there that happened right there. Can you tell us what happened there from a driver's perspective? Because it seemed like a couple guys just had some bad pushes, got together, and got all sideways. But what did you see back there?
It looked like I was clear until I came down on the 83, and I wasn't clear, so it spun him around.
Ah, and that's what caused that big old calamity back there in turns 3 and 4?
Yeah.
All right, well, any reflections on the pit strategy going from here on out? Do you guys think you can make it to the end, or do you think you're going to have to still pit between, like, lap 70-ish?
I think it'll probably be lap 80, around there.
Around lap 80? So that's your opinion on the pit strategy? Well, thank you, Sleasher. Anything else you want to say? Any trash talk, any complaining, anything like that?
The Fords are very good at pushing.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Yeah, we saw them do that perfectly timed move right there. Did they announce that in VC, or they just do it?
They announced it in VC, and I tried to block, but they were going 20 miles quicker than me. Yeah. So.
And the package is a bit different today than it was during the duel. It's a little bit slower running. Does that impact the racing, do you think?
Yeah, it makes it so you're more bunched up, so you can have the second line be better instead of just running the bottom.
Do you think it's contributing to the wrecks that we've seen so far? Because we've had 5 cautions and 4 flips.
Yeah. I think it's about like the 2019 package in real life. You know, about that same. It feels like that
kind of motif. All right. Well, thank you very much, Sleasher. You can go on back to your race buddies, and good luck in it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. All right. So that was Sleasher.
So that little Ford push on the outside was coordinated, which I think is amazing.
And now that we're back to racing, NASCAR got sent to the back during that caution.
Yeah, not too good for him. He was he has been sitting up front most of the time.
I believe it was for pitting infraction.
Yeah. It shouldn't be a big deal though, you know, how much everything changes on this track so quickly.
But yeah, we're going to try and crank it up here. We got boys in the chat asking for it, and we got one scheduled for 45, but there was a caution that came out during it. So we're going to get y'all here crank it up. We have to get the cameras, set up for it. But right now, pretty good race. Sleasher, who we was just talking to, already gotten back to the front. He's got help from Shulk there. And NASCAR's MK. Remy on the inside. Oh, almost had a teammate wreck there. That ain't good. We're going to do a crank it up now, so we'll send it over to you. And the... back to Jackal on Jackal. I'm AJ Schleierbeck. I got Super here with me. That was a great Crank It Up. These guys sound like really angry lawnmowers, and I love it. All right. And right now, we got Sleasher leading this deal. A little bit of a miscue there at the audio. That was kind of interesting. But Sleasher is leading this deal. He's got Commander Remy, I Caught Rona, and Good Score, all his teammates lined up with him. What do you think is going to happen from here on?
Well, these teammates are definitely going to try and stick together. But as we've seen in the past, that does not always go to plan.
If there's a wreck or something that goes on, you know, these guys can get stacked up. They can all get themselves all mixed out of sorts, and it's unfortunate. As Remy goes into the outside wall, and right now...
It's that kind of stuff.
They're 3 wide, 4 wide for the lead right now. Sleasher goes up to get Blackstone Warden's push. And these Toyotas are really powerful, but the Fords seem to be better at linking themselves up. We saw that great move they pulled earlier where they all came out of lines in like sync. If we see that again, those guys can easily rocket past the Toyotas. But right now, nobody's linked up. Everyone's all 4-5 wide, and now they're spinning.
Oh.
Zane to train NASCAR's MK.
Go backwards.
And up, the caution does come out. And I believe that was the race back, and they're going to wreck on the race back. And Blackstone Warden gets sent around by Shulk. Lots of smoke. There's a bigger wreck after the caution came out than what brought out the caution. But
yeah.
NASCAR's MK and another car got together there.
Yep.
And NASCAR's MK is blaming himself for the wreck. Zane says he's good, though. So.
Yeah, Zane, he got bumped down, and when he checked back up, he hit NASCAR and just got swung around.
Zane to Train is another one of those drivers who, like, kind of in the same boat as Joel Musa, you know?
Yeah, underrated.
They're very underrated, yeah. Zane is incredibly underrated. But he has his tracks, you know? That's part of his deal. He has his tracks.
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone, you know?
But everyone has their tracks where they're good and where they're not.
They're good with certain tracks, yeah. Some guys are better with short tracks, some guys are better with super speedways, like Remy.
Yeah. We're going to try and get Remy in here now. So we can actually give a little interview with him, ask him about the team dynamics currently going on over there. We're going to try and get a Ford next caution, though, get y'all some variety. Because there are going to be more cautions, I assume. I mean, this is number 6.
How many flips so far?
Still only 4. We're waiting on we're getting Remy in here, but in the meantime, what do you think these boys are going to be doing coming towards the end of this race? Because I think that simply because of how many wrecks we've already had, these guys ain't settling down as we get further into the race. So I think we're going to continue to see the field get bunched up by these wrecks. I don't think it's going to come down necessarily to a green-white checkered, but I do think that late in the race there's going to be a late restart where guys get linked up with their teammates and such, and that decides who's where and what happens at the end.
Remy.
Hello.
Hello, Remy. Welcome. Always nice to have you on here. But just tell me, what are the team dynamics like right now? Are you guys... Because I saw in that last run, no one really got linked up with their teammates as well as they did earlier on. Do you think that as the race goes on, it's going to be more about getting linked up with your teammates?
Yes.
Get that final push?
Yes, this last stint is actually probably going to be it. We are good on fuel. We can make it to the end. So we will probably be seeing teams teaming up with each other and trying to go get it for the win.
Now, this is always a taboo question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Who is the lead guy? Who is the guy you guys are thinking are going to put at the front of your pack on your lead out?
We haven't really discussed that yet. We're probably just going to push whoever happens to be at the front. We aren't really pushing anybody to, per se, have an advantage in points this season. We're just doing whatever goes. All
right. Well, anything else you want to add, Remy? I mean, the Fords have been really good. Do y'all think y'all have a good chance at beating them?
Yes. Our team probably is going to win this race. If not, going to get really good positions. We're all pretty used to the track, and yeah.
All right. Well, Remy, anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right. Always very nice to have Commander Remy on. Thank you for your time, and go get it, mate.
Thank you very much.
Later. Well, good luck to Remy.
Yeah, you should ask a question next time. I know that in that brain of yours, you got some
I do, yeah, but we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. Is that we have time for like 2 questions. But how's Commander Remy? He's leading this race. always nice interviewing different drivers. We're going to try and get AK Isaiah or one of the Fords next caution if there is one. But we're coming to the green flag. Here we are. Remy takes the lead, or takes the point. He's already at the lead. He's got good square behind him. That's good for him. He's also got Sleasher and Icot Rona, who are going to try and get themselves linked up, I assume. Icot Rona all the way at the end of this train of cars. But they're one wide all the way through turns 1 and 2, coming onto the backstretch. Don't know when they're going to pull out.
Oh, here they go.
And there they go. They need to try and take Shulk and Joel Musa with them.
No, I don't think it's going to be enough, though.
Yeah, only 3 cars out there. But Xander Train might get a couple of spots from this. Sleasher goes up as well. And Blackstone Warden and Chris Bald Paul nearly got together there entering the corner. And nope, they do get together.
Get a little loose.
Can he save it? Ooh, what a save.
Hold on.
Very good there. And he actually got a good push out of it, too, because Sleasher pushed him on exit. Then Shulk gets into Sleasher. That sends Sleasher around. Oh, no.
That is unfortunate. Oh,
Walfling gets NASCAR MK as well. That's 2 cars involved with that one. And the caution is out. They're going to race back to the line. Commander Remy on the race back with good square. I think that's probably a pretty friendly race back here. So they're going to go 3 wide behind. Back to 2 now. Do not know what happened there. NASCAR's MK said he got limited there? I don't know. That was an interesting wreck.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Well, what I think happened is it was just he was I don't even know. He kind of piled into it, but I don't think there was really much he could have done there because he got a car landing on his hood. You know, not much you can do to avoid that.
Oh yeah, there really isn't much you can do when there's just a car sitting on your...
It's got wall flung there. We talked about that wall before the race, and you said, and I quote, "No one's going to hit that." Well, I'll count that as a flip too because he got all the way in the air and pirouetted.
It's very unlikely, but it did happen.
It did happen. Yeah, it was unlikely, but it happened. So that is our 7th caution of the day. These guys are racing really aggressively out here.
Yeah, we're only halfway through the race at this point.
Mm-hmm. But halfway through the race, 7 cautions, 5 flips. I don't actually have the laps led statistics because I'm not keeping track of that, are you?
No.
I ain't writing all that down. Maybe a carpal tunnel. But it's safe to say that the Toyotas have been dominant today, the Extreme Motorsports cars.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're going to see if anybody comes in for a pit stop.
It's like Remy's looking at it.
And it looks like everyone's going to come on down. They said that they would be good on fuel for the rest of the race. So...
Well, Zane and NASCAR are going to stay out.
Mm-hmm. Xander Train always has some wacky pit strategy going on, but...
Yeah, I mean...
Can't knock him for it.
If it works, it works.
And by wacky fuel strategy, this is the guy who ran out of pit... This guy ran out of fuel during qualifying for an Indy 500. Don't knock it, though. Don't knock it. I ain't knocking it at all. It's getting out there on a different strategy to get track position is... It's almost an art form, you know?
Yeah, changing it up. I mean...
Yeah, changing it up.
You run the same thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to really...
When you make these kind of pit calls, it can really backfire, but if he gets a quick caution or something, this thing might be really good. So everybody's going to get themselves all lined up here. Got everybody filing into line. They're going to go green this time, I believe. He's got Commander Remy, Joel Musa. Everybody getting themselves into line here. No penalties on that one.
Yeah, that's great. If they changed it to 2 wide, or if they started at 2 wide, how do you think that would change how this race would go?
I feel like we wouldn't see that big peel off coming onto the back straightaway. We just see him going, 1 wide. Or we see him going 2 wide all the way around, and then eventually filing into single file or going 3 wide or something like that. We wouldn't see that on the back straightaway. We see a couple of cars pull off at the back of the line to try and make their own row. We don't really see that.
Yeah.
In a double wide restart. I actually like single wide restarts, honestly. Although I was in an NR race once. Time for a little anecdote because we're under caution, so we get to say this. I was in an NR race once in a 35 car field at Daytona, and I got spun and it was a caution. And on the next restart, I restarted in 35th. That is just the the worst feeling. Looking ahead of you and seeing 34 cars single file.
Yeah, no.
And it was a train race too. This is a train package, so it was just awful. But I finished like 4th in that race. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I believe it was IFAR Daytona. It might have been CHRA. I forget. It's fine, Super. It was actually really funny. It's a nice dynamic there. Usually I'm the mean one. But here we go. Zane DeTrain is going to lead him off here. Green flag back in the air. NASCAR is MK behind him. And everybody's going to immediately slide out there. We talked about that. Commander Remy on the outside. NASCAR MK is going to get a good squares push on the inside. And there's 3 Extreme Motorsports cars lined up on the inside line now. That's 4 now. Wow, that is exactly what we were talking about with the teams. And Zane DeTrain gets some big chunk of concrete there. Big push there to Remy, though. Remy got a huge run off that push. I think they reduced the speeds but kept the draft at the same strength, which means that the runs are just so much bigger.
Yeah, probably.
And now we got 3 wide action back in the field as NASCAR's MK with the lead. Fades down, but Good Square pushes him out. Apparently that's incorrect. That's what it looks like, though. Don't know. Crafting a draft package is very...
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
It's not easy. I mean, I thought, okay, draft is more powerful. Wow, I thought he was going to say, oh, no, more powerful.
Wow.
Stronger. All the way. I like that. That is the kind of thinking I like. More horsepower,
Bigger the better.
more draft. But yeah, I mean, these runs are just massive, you know? And here comes a big push on the outside. Blackstone Warden's going to rocket around 2 cars from that. I'm really liking this package. The dual package was different, and this... Honestly, if they keep this one going forward, I'd be very happy. This is a very nice package.
Yeah.
And Blackstone Warden on the outside now. We got 2 lines making it work. We were promised that, and we're getting it. And we only got, what, 41 to go now. So it's go time, I think. We're past halfway. No more pitting according to some of these drivers. So it might be time to get out there and go for it, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know, I want to look at...
I'll note that NASCAR's MK has about 400 less fuel than everyone else in the field. I don't believe he'll be able to make it to the end if everyone else can.
Who's that?
But he'll probably pit under yellow if we get one. But we're 3 wide right now up at the front of the pack. And right now, I don't even know. We usually talk about our picks before the race and then about midway. But what are your picks right now as we get towards the closing stages of this race?
I mean, look at Sleasher, man. Look at him leading the race. He forced Good Square out of that groove. And I was wanting to talk about that because Good Square, he has not been leading much of this race. And I was really looking at him to make a big impact and really come out and do his very best. But I mean, I think he's trying his very best. It can just be a little more difficult with some people. I mean, sometimes you just have bad races and sometimes you have great races, you know? But personally, I'm gonna have to go with Sleasher. What about you?
For me, it's either Sleasher or Remy. I mean, these two, they're very strong, and they got a very strong team around it. But I think we're sleeping on the Fords a bit too much. Chris Ball, Paul, Joel Musa, Shulk. You know, I mean, those guys can all link up.
Yeah.
And we saw that earlier. We saw 4 Fords and a Chevy come out of line all at the same time. Here comes a huge run for Remy. And Blackstone Warden and... Oh, no, we got a car sideways at the back. It's AK Isaiah. No, it's NASCAR's MK. Excuse me. It's able to get it straightened again, though. I was back in the group. But 11-car lead group right now. Look at that outside line, though, forming up with 3 Fords, 4 Fords now, and a couple of Chevys. And, oh, no, that's not going to end well. Oh, well, never mind. But at this stage in the race, I feel like it's definitely imperative that you get linked up with your teammate.
Yeah, definitely. You want to do that. You want someone you can run hard with and really just get to the front as fast as possible.
I think at this point in the race, everybody needs to link up there if you're going to get with your teammates, because you might not get another caution that bunches everyone up at this point. So I feel like you want to figure things out. Oh, we got a car with a blown motor. AK Isaiah's motor let go.
First one of the day.
That's our first blown motor of the day. AK Isaiah coming through turn 1. The motor just blew up on him. He was spending a lot of time tucked in behind other cars. You got to watch those temperatures. And that's put everyone on notice now, I think.
Yeah.
Because now we've seen a motor blow. It's no longer a hypothetical, is it going to happen today? It's happened.
Yeah, it definitely has.
So it's going to be real interesting now seeing how people manage their temperatures. We got 2 really strong lines now. Sleasher on the inside with Commander Remy. That's a team car. Good square. Also on Extreme Motorsports on the outside. Slides up there, lets Joel Musa and his Ford teammates by. So now we got 3 Fords and 2 Toyotas battling with each other. And, ooh, door banging a little bit. That smoke on the aprons from the previously blown engine of AK Isaiah. He's going to go a lap down. He's currently on the back straightaway. Hopefully there will not be a LePage. There's been no LePage, thank God.
You're okay.
You're okay, yeah. It's always nervous when there's a car right on that yellow line that's got a problem of some kind. It's always nervous coming past them because you never know if they're going to lag and hook right or mad at you or something. So it's always scary. As Remy gets shuffled out, he's going to get a huge run here. Blackstone Warden's going to keep the lead, though. 3 wide in the pack. Blackstone Warden with a huge run on the bottom. Joel Musa now with the big run. Chris Paul NASCAR's MK pushing. And things are getting really aggressive now. 2 wide, 3 wide at certain points in this group. And coming to the corner, you're seeing them slide up the track a little bit more as the tires wear. You notice that?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. You know, your car just can't handle, the speeds that they're going at, and it starts drifting up a little more as you come out of the corner. But Remy fished down a little bit in the back.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting.
I think I said come out of the corner. I meant coming into the corner.
Yeah.
As you come in, you drift up a little bit. I mean, it can happen in the middle of the corner, too. You saw Zane there.
Yeah.
Drift up a little bit.
And the more wear you got on your tires, the more it slides up. That's something they were talking about during the duel. Some guys are feeling like they couldn't actually run wide open after a certain point because the tires got worn too much. I think that was around 60%. When that starts happening, where you really start managing it. You also really have to manage your temperatures right now. I mean, we already saw one guy's motor let go, and he's pretty much out of this deal unless there's a caution.
Yeah. I want to test
AK Isaiah.
Because...
And AK Isaiah, that is a Chevy. So, and we saw him pull out during that big Ford pull out there when the 4 cars went out to the outside lane earlier.
Yeah.
So there might be a couple of cars out there who have lost a valuable ally with AK Isaiah blowing his motor. As Blackstone Warden gets a big push from Icot Rona. That's going to get him to the lead. But right now, it's kind of a holding pattern almost. Everybody's kind of, we're in that weird position between the midpoint of the race and the end, where it's not quite time to start making incredible moves trying to get to the front, but you also got to try and set yourself up for success,
Yeah, like block, keep people from getting around you. Try to hold on to that
try and hold on to every spot, but you don't want to do anything reckless. So now we got 3 cars linked up for the Toyotas behind 1 Chevy. Blackstone Warden is all on his own right now. And here they go. Here go the extreme cars. NASCAR MK is going to push Sleasher in front of him. No, Blackstone gets a push from Remy. And now they're door banging for the lead. Coming into the tri-oval here on the nicest lap of the race.
Haha, yes. Well, we got 2 lanes forming. Well, they already did form.
2 really strong lanes.
Yeah, the outside is real strong. You got Sleasher, great driver, NASCAR, good square, Joel, underrated. But, it's probably not, even though with that great lineup, it's not going to be enough because it's only 4, and the bottom has 6.
And those Extreme Motorsport cars have a red spoiler. I honestly didn't notice that. I just noticed they were the Toyotas and they all have that number font, but apparently they all have red spoilers, and I can verify they do. Dang. Good factoids being given to us by a fat man here. Sleasher on the outside. He's going to get a push here from NASCAR's MK. And I see that outside line starting to fade. I wonder if Remy's going to come up and help his teammates. Right now he's just filed in line behind Blackstone Warden, currently in 2nd position. And that outside line completely broke up now.
NASCAR got juggled around a little bit there.
Yeah. And now that outside line's completely broken up, and they're all getting back into one line. 30 to go now. So we got basically got a whole duel left, all right? That's how much more we got to go in this thing.
If you watch here, I believe guys in the back, they like to come up and touch the wall a little bit, kind of ride the wall. If you've been noticing, or if you've been watching, they come up on the backstretch, and then as they're coming out of the backstretch, coming into the corner, they go down and get with the line. They didn't do it that time, but they've been doing it a lot, and I'm not sure if the wall gives you a little more speed or what.
There is wall draft. The Schultz goes around, and that's not good for him. He's going to lose some spots to that. Comes back up, doesn't take anybody out, but he's definitely going to lose some spots. Probably won't lose the draft. Nah, he'll still get Sleasher's draft, it looks like, but that's pretty big gap between him and the field now. As Commander Remy in the lead. It's going to be just barely on the end of that draft. But Remy's going to have Icot Rona all over his rear end here. But we're all single file. And with not too much more to go, we talked about people trying to link up with their teammates, and we're starting to see that. We got NASCAR MK, Sleasher, and Good Square all lined up back there. 3 of the Extreme Motorsports Toyotas.
Yep.
And we got I Rona, another Extreme Motorsports car, pushing. Oh, Zane to Train Blue.
Again?
And he gets hit by Shulk.
Oh.
That's our second blown motor of the day. Thankfully for Zane, it happens close to pit lane. So that's not good for him. And now, if you look down on that bottom line, there's 4 Extreme Motorsports cars separated by only Chris Bald Paul. He's the only one of the Fords who's up there in that top 5. So he's feeling a bit lonely right now. He's got all the Toyotas around him.
Yeah, I mean, single file.
Yeah. Starting to get single file now. Chris Bald Paul.
And they're together now.
Stuck up on the outside. And now we got those 4 Extreme Motorsports cars linked up at the front. And we heard people complaining about this earlier. Because when these guys get linked up, they are so dang good, man. They are very, very strong as Rona shuffles out of line now.
Still 3, though. Still strong.
Now here comes NASCAR's MK actually going to the outside. We got 2 lines once again. As Sleasher gets Chris Paul's push, Remy tries to squeeze down a little bit. And now we got a couple of Fords and Chevys linked up on the bottom as well with them Toyotas. The team has gotten broken up a little bit. There's still 3 team cars all lined up. Now 4 team cars lined up for Extreme Motorsports, with Sleasher leading, gap with a couple of cars that aren't on that team, and then the rest of the team at the back. That team, it's hard to state how incredibly strong it is. Other than just saying that they qualified all of their cars for the duel. No other team did that, because they got 5 cars into this race for the duels. Which is just incredible. That's just some real strength right there.
I find it crazy.
Now.
I find it crazy how fast they got together, but it's also like it was the same speed. Or I worded that very, very strangely. It was the amount of speed or like quickness that it took them to split up. If you get what I'm saying.
Yep. Because that's the thing. When you guys link up with each other, it's a bit hard to do it sometimes. You know, get each other all linked up and all. Because especially when you got all these checkups and people going 3 wide, 4 wide. And stuff like that. It's difficult. But now we got Sleasher leading here with BNC General. Chris Bald Paul.
And Remy's behind him. Looking pretty strong.
Getting all single file now.
Yeah, Sleasher has just been holding that lead for quite a while.
But now they've gotten all single file again. It's going to be interesting trying to think about this, you know?
Yeah.
Because now everybody's biding their time, waiting to make their move.
Yep, waiting for that opportunity for the person in front of you to drift up the track and you can just get right under him.
Or they're waiting for everybody to pull out a line and make a second groove. When that happens, that's when things are going to get real interesting. It's not a huge amount of cars in this lead group right now. But there are, unfortunately for the guys who might want to be chasing, they're outnumbered by the Extreme Motorsports cars. So whatever line those guys go on will be the dominant line with the way they're organized.
Yep.
And for those who are wondering who the Extreme Motorsports cars are, that's the 21, the 11, the 83, the 60, or not the 60, sorry, the 27. It looks like a 60 from a distance because my graphics are on poop. And I caught Rona in the 19. So there are a lot of cars on that team compared to everyone else. But right now, they are not all linked up the way they want to be. Got 3 of them linked up, and they're separated by Chris Bald Paul. And then at the very back, it's Good Square. But those team cars right now, they are racing really well. I think they're just about doing exactly what they want to do. Sleasher's hitting 204 in the corner. Here comes Chris down the inside. He was forced down there. But here comes Remy back underneath with 3 Toyotas pushing him. And Chris Bald Paul and Sleasher doorbang a little bit on the backstretch. That was very interesting. It looked like Sleasher got pushed up the track by Chris.
Yep.
And we talked about that happening. If you push a guy in corner entry, they will slide right up sometimes. And that's what happened right there.
But now Good Square has a helper in the back with Sleasher. I think he had lost the draft back there.
He hadn't quite lost it, but he was a bit off of it. He was kind of just hanging back. Didn't want to get caught up in any sort of issues that happened. We're going to be at 20 to go in 2 laps, so almost 4/5 of the way through this thing. It's a long race, guys, and this is coming right down to it. You can feel the pressure kind of building, you know?
Yeah.
As you get to the closing stages of this race. With 11 cars on track right now, and of that, 9 of them are on the lead lap, and they're all in this big group. And they should be all able to make it on fuel as well. But Zane DeTrain and AK Isaiah were the 2 cars who blew their engines. As for NASCAR's MK, we were talking about he was on a different pit strategy earlier, but he only has 400 less fuel than Remy, so I believe he'll be able to make it, especially with the draft, but it will be interesting to watch that, just in case. He's also got slightly worse tires than everyone else, so he might be more apt to slide up the track. And wow!
There you go.
See, Blackstone Warden actually got his front end of his car up in the air after the contact there. On the bottom, front end actually hopped, but keeps it on the ground. Coming to 20 to go this time by. And those extreme cars, you see them all lining up there at the back, they are all linked up.
They're going to be looking to make it a big move here, coming to these last few laps.
Yeah, I mean, we got 20 to go this time by, so there's still time. Whoa, Joel Musa gets shoved out of the groove. They are coming on with a lot of speed. Chris Paul barely able to handle the push. And I caught Rona's going to slide out of line, though, and now Remy's going to go up high with him. And Good Square's feinting like he's going to, but he doesn't. Remy comes back down to the bottom.
Remy might let him in here. Well, it's not.
Everyone's going to pull back up into that single file line, and they're going to keep on running.
But Chris gets forced under. That's going to cause a huge train of other cars getting involved.
I don't know how many cars are involved in that one, but that's another flip.
About 4.
Yeah. And Chris Paul stuck up against the fence.
Chris got
and
forced
that is
under.
going to be really good for Zane DeTrain, who's going to get his lap back. Now, what exactly happened there? My game was actually frozen when that happened, so you're going to have to tell me on that.
Well, Chris got forced under by the leader, I believe, which was Blackstone. And when that happened, Sleasher was behind him. So when he came back up into the track, he brought Sleasher with him. Just brought on a huge train of just other cars involved.
Yeah, and Chris Paul says that he got late blocked. From your description, that seems pretty accurate. All I saw was the aftermath of it. I got like the very start of it, my game froze, and I saw the end. So
Chris pushed up Blackstone, and Blackstone thought he was clear. He came down, and he was not clear.
Yeah, it's mighty unfortunate for him there. And I believe they're pulling Blackstone in, so.
Hey, Blackstone.
Hey.
Yep. So, Blackstone, interesting wreck there. Tell us from your perspective what exactly happened.
Well, I mean, I got bumped, went up to like 212 or something, then just dropped down to 180. It just went south from there.
It's unfortunate. That big drop in speed probably caused all that stuff to happen. And now that you're going to be sitting in, like, back into the top 5 maybe, what do you think is going to happen in the closing stage of this race? You got those Toyotas who are all linking up. We saw the Fords make a big move together earlier in the race. Do you think that it's going to come down to which line is stronger and who's leading that line, or do you think it's going to be a bit more wild than that?
Well, I mean, what we got, like, less than 20 laps to go, so there's probably going to be a lot more cautions. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my teammates in because they didn't make the duels. But mainly it's just hoping I can work with the Fords, and I think there's another Chevy.
There's one other Chevy, yeah. So we have had 8 cautions in this race for an average green flag run, I think of like 10.25.
Yep.
Do you think that in the end of this race there's going to be a lot more cautions breeding each other, or do you think that these guys might get back into that single file group like we saw during that last run and just wait for the time to pull out and make them?
Well, I mean, we'll get into like a single file group eventually, but I feel like with the closing laps it's going to be a lot more risk versus reward moves.
All right, anything else you want to say?
Not that I can think of, no.
Any questions from Super?
Who have you been working with mostly? And who do you think you're going to work with coming in these last laps?
I mean, mainly I've been working with sort of everyone trying to get that reputation up, but mainly it's been the Fords because most of the Toyotas are just hugging the inside line.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Blackstone. Have a good race, and we'll see you on the other side of it. All right, that was Blackstone Warden. Involved in that last wreck, but currently sitting in 7th place, just outside the top 5. Commander Remy is going to be leading when they come around. It's 1 to green. Extreme Motorsports, they brought it all today, you know? So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But Super, coming into the end of this race, got these basically two groups. You got the Toyotas and then you got everyone else.
Yep.
Do you think that it's actually going to come down to that? Because I just have a mental image of a 7 versus 5 car line, you know, fighting each other at the end of this thing.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's
the
just...
Toyotas are broken up a little bit by Joel Musa.
Yeah, but they've got 15 laps to get together.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to be coming to 16 to go at the line. And then it's going to be probably a frantic couple of laps here at the end. This is going to be pretty extreme.
Yeah, you've seen them getting a little jumbled up, but now it's about to get real.
Mm-hmm. Green flag back in the air. 16 to go. Commander Remy with the lead. And immediately we see guys going too wide at the back. Everybody on the lead lap, 11 cars, they all got a shot to win it. We also have to remind you, we've had 2 engines blow out today. Definitely a chance of that happening again. Especially with some of these guys back in the middle of the pack. We talked about that during the duels. These engine temperatures can just shoot up. They can just go from perfectly fine to almost about a blow in a split second. So you have to be able to react to that and be able to nurse your engine all the way around this place. As Sleasher gets a huge push there by Shulk on the bottom, and that bottom groove is really working right now. On the outside line, Joel Musa, good square, Cristobal Paul, not quite getting organized though. Joel Musa's got B&C General, Cristobal Paul behind him.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough though, only 3 cars.
Only 3 cars right now. And all those Toyotas are all just sliding into line there. Got Sleasher, Shulk, and Remy. Shulk is the only Ford down there right now.
Yep.
He's got 2 cars back until he has another friendly car. So, leaders are going 205 with the big bump there. So, coming to 16 or 14 to go this time. It's going to be really interesting seeing what happens here. Anything you want to think?
I think Sleasher sitting second. I think with his mindset, he'd be okay finishing second if he can get his teammate to first. Like, he'd be okay just blocking and staying behind him. Because, I mean, points are points, right? Top 3 get
I feel like once you get to like 5 to go, though, that kind of flies out of the water. You know, you just want to win the Daytona 250. At a certain point,
maybe
you strive to win.
You got to be the right person to really want to help your teammate.
Yeah, and right now it seems like the Toyotas are trying to make a move, according to our information. As we see that right there, got good square pulling out a line there, and it's go time now. I think we're gonna start seeing guys trying to make moves on that outside line. Got Icot Rona pulling out a line. Nope, pulls back in. Then he's going to try and time it to get Good Square's push coming off the corner. AK Isaiah with a bit of a squeeze there to Good Square. But yeah, we see some moves being made back in the pack. Icot Rona currently, though. Ooh, it's a little bit squirrely there. And Remy is going to get passed by Sleasher. Ooh, he's squeezing him down.
Teammates fighting.
Ooh, man. All on the apron. There's AK Isaiah sideways. Can he save it? Yes, he can. It's just frantic for the lead right now. Shulk on the outside with no help, though. Commander Remy tried to get down and get Sleasher's help. Huge push by NASCAR and pay to Icot Rona.
And Sleasher must be feeling cheated right now.
Yeah, and right now, AK Isaiah, man, that was a great save, dude. That was incredible.
Uh-huh.
And Commander Remy is going to get to the front right here. And NASCAR's MK just about caused a huge wreck with, I think he was going maybe 215 when he slammed into the guy in front of him going 180. I don't know how they didn't wreck, but everyone keeps it going. And now we see him moving on the outside like Good Square. He's got Joel Musa behind him. And we got NASCAR as MK and Commander Remy on the inside. But now Good Square's got a push from Blackstone. And these guys are getting real racy. It's going to be 11 to go this time by. Oh, that's dangerous right there. And they're 3 by 3 by 3.
Ooh.
That is incredible. Those 2 cars on the inside line, they're orphaned. Here comes Good Square, though, getting the lead. And they're going to go 3 wide for second. These guys are really stacking each other up right now. A couple of cars getting into each other's quarter panels. That's where things get really squirrely.
4 wide now.
4 wide.
NASCAR and
Remy's
Chris in the middle.
The smoke. But Remy holds the lead, followed by Sleasher, AK Isaiah. And these guys are just racing their hearts out right now with 11 laps to go. And now everyone's going to file back in that line. That was a little bit of a frantic period. And now it's going to be time to, maybe settle yourself down just a little bit. Get ready for this finish.
took Sleasher 2 laps to get back up into the front.
2 laps, man. He is just... It's like Dale, man. You can see the air. And oh no, he goes below the yellow line. I don't know how legal that was. 8K Isaiah gives him a big push. Guess he kind of had to take it. But now Remy gets shuffled out of the groove. And here comes 8K Isaiah with a huge push by Blackstone. I think Sleasher... Oh, door slamming him. Dang. Blackstone Warden's going to push B and C Swag. 8K Isaiah past. I caught Rona turns Blackstone.
3 cars.
And Carr wheel hopping keeps it straight though. And they're still wrecking. And that's going to be out there wrecking now. Chris Paul got sideways. Multiple cars up in the wall, nosing in. That's 5 cars involved in that incident there.
And how much do you think this is going to change up?
That's going to shake things all the way up. And now on the race back, it's going to be Sleasher getting pushed by Shulk on the outside. He's got Remy behind him. There's Isaiah on the inside. Can he do anything? He doesn't really have much of a push. He finally gets Chris up on him.
Sleasher has a huge lead, though.
Huge lead there. Here comes Shulk. Big run.
Whoa.
What a run by Shulk. See if Remy gets back up to him. Remy's not going to push him, I don't think, if Sleasher's leading. I think that was a bit of teamwork there. I saw Remy lift right there, it looked like. So
yeah.
That was actually very smart by Remy, not pushing someone over around his teammate. So now everyone's going to file back into line. And this is going to be a real interesting finish here.
Oh, I wonder if
we're going to try and get Good Square in here. Love talking to Good Square.
Uh-huh.
Let's get that boy in here. But man, that was just an incredible little run right there. Huge wreck. That was probably the biggest of the day. Didn't have any flips. We got Good Square now, though. Good Square, welcome into the commentating VC. How are you doing, man?
Doing good, I guess.
Yeah, you got 4 other team cars with you now. What's the plan going forward? Besides you guys trying to link up earlier, that last run it seemed like it wasn't happening as much. What's the goal here?
I'm gonna have to try it again if I want to have a chance at the win. I'm gonna try, hopefully, getting all my teammates that are back here, even even people like Joel, to try getting a run up to the lead. And yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything like strategy-wise that's being considered right now with pitting under these cautions? Because I feel like we might have another couple ones.
For me personally, I think I am done pitting unless I'm in last, where I can't really gain anything if I don't pit. That'll be the only time I would pit at this stage. Because I'm basically good for the end.
Also, we've seen a couple of cars having their motors let go on them because they were spend too much time in the draft and such. Is that a concern coming towards the end of this race and people are not going to be really looking at their temps as much?
I think so. I've already heard people complain about them almost blowing up in race comms. I myself got like to about 305 or so, like 4 times this whole race. So yeah, I was pretty close myself.
All right, so that's something to be considering if you're watching this race from home. Thank you, Good Square. Anything else you want to say?
No. Yeah.
All right.
I got one question.
Oh, he's got a question. Super's got a question for you, Good.
So, the fans are dying to know, will this be your final full-time Daytona 250?
Full-time, most likely.
Alright.
All right. Thank you, Good Square. Very refined answer there. Yeah, you'll go get it, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
So it's going to be 1 lap to green now. That was Good Square. Most popular driver in Jackal, Good Square. Not always nice having him in here, but it's going to be interesting seeing what happens here to the end, man. It's going to be real close. It's going to be a really good finish. Who do you got?
Sleasher and Remy have been real strong working together, and Remy's only 3 cars back from Sleasher.
Don't sleep on Joel Musa and Chris Paul. Both those guys got a chance. Same with Shulk. Shulk's been up there. I feel like everybody in this pack has a chance of winning it. It's just a question of can they get to where they need to be to set up the move.
That is
it's going to be 6
true.
to go when they go green. But man, it's going to be close. No one else saw Zane do that? Nope, right? No. I don't know what that was.
We'll just ignore it for now.
We'll just ignore that. I don't know what's going on up there. Please don't come down and hit anyone. Oh, no, he's getting into position. He hit someone. Not sure what's going on there. And here we go, coming to the green flag. Everybody's actually a bit shaken up because of that. Not quite as aligned as they usually would be. Green flag out in the air. 6 laps to go here at Daytona for the 250 here in Jackal.
Who's gonna try and make a move?
I don't know. Looked like Chris Paul right there almost got underneath Schulk, but those two have got to work together if they want to have a chance of winning this thing, I think. With all these Toyotas out there, the 2 Fords near up the front have got to do all they can to get around them. Here comes the Extreme Motorsports move. Good square and Remy on the outside. And Joel Musso helping out with the Fords on the bottom. See teammates really starting to get organized now. Everyone slots back into line after that. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. And again, at any moment, someone's motor could blow in this pack. That has been something that's been happening all day.
But are you willing to take the risk and go outside?
Oh, of course! It's a Daytona 250, man. You gotta do anything. Anything to get to the front, man. Anything other than wrecking people. That's kind of me. But, you know. For the Daytona 250, I know a few guys who would do it. But here comes Schulk with a huge push on the outside, but Sleasher gets that same push from Chris Paul. I bet Schulk's eyes lit up right there. He thought he got around him, I think. But he's going to be on the outside. He's got Remy, good square, NASCAR's MK helping him. These guys are racing real frantic. We're inside 5 to go now. It's going to be 4 to go this time at the line. Sleasher squeezing down, or Schulk, sorry, squeezing down the corner. Sleasher leading, followed by Chris Paul, Joel Musa, Commander Remy, I caught Rona, Blackstone Warden, AK Isaiah. Good square, NASCAR's MK and Zane at the back, and Schulk is the only car out on the outside with no help. 3 to go now, or 4 to go, excuse me. Sleasher holds that lead, but at any moment he could slide up, someone could pass him, someone could go. I've got a motor blowing in the pack. It's Zane to train.
Again, Zane.
That's the second time today. He was all the way at the back of the field, so nobody got caught up in that. But here comes Joel Musa to the inside line. They're 3 wide for the lead. Joel Musa.
Who is going to help?
He's got Remy behind him.
Help Sleasher.
But Sleasher and Chris Paul not aligned, almost wrecked there. Here comes oh my God! Look at AK Isaiah with a huge run. Oh my goodness gracious!
He's got Chris behind him, but he's gonna force Schulk down.
Beautiful. 4 wide now for back row. These guys are getting racy. 3 to go now at the line. He's got Remy on the inside, Sleasher on the outside now. 3 wide for second. Joel Musa cannot block 3 runs at once. He's trying his darndest.
Oh, he did it.
He's able to keep them all behind him. Big stack up in the field. Sleasher on the outside nearly wrecks. But now he's got Remy, NASCAR MK behind him. I don't think Joel can hold them off. He blocks down to the bottom. Bit of legato blocking. Got a move coming on the high side.
NASCAR with the run now, too.
Yeah, this is getting real racy. Coming to the line. 2 to go this time. Big line on the bottom, though. It's going to be interesting to see if that high side can come alive. We saw them try it on the back there. Joel Musa just holding on right now. 2 to go.
Who's gonna be willing to take the risk on the last lap, take the outside, and make a run?
Exactly. Change your line, do anything on that last lap trying to get yourself. Here comes Remy on the inside. Musa bobbled. Oh no, he's gonna get turned Remy into the wall.
He's going backwards. Is he going to save it?
He's gonna keep it straight, but I don't think he's got a chance at winning this deal no more.
Sleasher's now leading with Schulk and Joel Musa with a run on the outside.
Here comes Isaiah, though. Big bump on the bottom. Didn't quite come, though. Remy got back into that pack. He's currently sitting pretty in 9th, I believe. As here they come. White flag in the air for the Daytona 250. They cross the line. One more time around. This is it. Who makes the move? Sleasher leading. He's got AK Isaiah behind him. Blackstone Warden as well. Chris Paul rides Schulk all the way up the racetrack.
Blackstone looking at it.
Paul running Schulk all the way up. Blackstone Warden pulls out a line. But here comes Isaiah. Trying to back it up to get a run. He gets the run from I Caught Rona, but he pushes Sleasher. Coming to the checkered flag. See if someone gets a run on the outside. Sleasher pulls up the track.
AK with a late block
across the field. And that is going to take a lot of cars out of this thing. Sleasher blocks it. Here comes Good Square on the bottom.
He's going to look at it.
Coming across the line. Good Square crosses first.
Good Square.
And we're going to hold on seeing if that's official because he did go all the way below the line there.
Wow.
I believe Sleasher did not force him. Big wreck crossing the start-finish line. See where everyone comes out here.
What a
A
finish.
lot of drama at the end of this thing. What a finish.
Good square, narrowly.
Narrowly beat him across the line.
Yep. Not even half a car, but not even a quarter, maybe 10%. You know, a couple fun races ago, I told everyone it was gonna be a good one. Well, y'all got a good one.
Mm-hmm. And Good Square doing his burnouts on the front. I believe that will be official. Good Square wins the race.
His last full-time Daytona 250.
Very, very good. That was an incredible finish. I didn't think they were going to make it back. That huge block thrown by Sleasher there up at the top, that was just, man. And it's Good Square is going to burn it down here on the front straightaway. We're going to try and get him for an interview. That was just incredible.
Yep.
The chat went absolutely mad during that, by the way.
That they did.
But Sleasher does his burnout. That was just incredible. I mean, that run on the high side, I thought he was going to be able to block that and hold it, but he got kind of shunted up against the wall by it.
Yep.
And because of that, he was unable to, hold the car where he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what ended up being the difference there for Sleasher. And Good Square came down on the bottom. I think he got forced down a little bit, and they're giving it to him. I think that's just incredible, man. He did what he needed to do, got that win.
Yep.
That was perfect timing by Good Square,
Mm-hmm.
And that big wreck there at the end separated the back half from the front half of the field and kind of neutralized the amount of cars he had in line with you, and really gave us a good finish. But we're going to try and get Good Square in here for an interview.
Alright.
But, man, what an incredible finish to the Daytona 250.
That
That was
quite
just
an
incredible.
interesting one.
Yep, Good Square's in here. Good Square, congratulations on the win.
Wow.
Congrats.
Tell me, man, coming to the stripe, what were you thinking there?
I was just telling people, can we get to the outside, please, so we can have a chance at this.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen, and then they just started to wreck all of a sudden. So I thought, okay, maybe we can get top 3. And then all of a sudden, I see Sleasher and Isaiah come together, and I'm just like, there's no way. And then I just make the move, and boom, I just came first.
I was actually, when I saw you cross the line first, I was actually a little bit concerned that they might get you on the yellow line there because you put a couple tires below it. Glad to see they didn't. That was just incredible there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How's it?
You got
How's it
forced.
feel?
That's the official call. Got forced by Sleasher. All right. And do you think that wreck there at the end actually helped you win the race though, because it broke up the cars that were lined up?
It 100% did. Honestly, yeah. Although with the Solutionized Days instance, it would have been close if that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that for sure. But yeah.
Man, what a finish. That was like by about a quarter car length. That was so close. And you got anything you want to say? I mean, it's your last full-time season apparently.
Yeah. You want to thank anyone?
You gotta have something to say, Good Square.
Yeah, you gotta thank someone or...
Oh, I gotta thank. First off, I gotta thank Danger for my notes. Shout out to Danger for this, nice scheme he gave me for the 500.
50?
Yeah, for the 250. Yeah, the 250. Shout out to my team as well for my drivers. They helped me in time for the race. And yeah, finally, it feels good to finally win something.
Finally.
Yeah.
Coming from you, Good Square, you've won a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how does it feel to win your
how
last?
does it feel to win? I'm not gonna say it's the biggest race on Roblox, but it's up there. It's A tier.
And your last full-time season Daytona 250.
I mean,
it's a great start to the season. Great start for the championship. Yeah, now it's just stay consistent for the season, and hopefully I get more wins.
Now, do you think you're going to be able to put together a championship campaign this season?
I think so, yeah, based on my I guess past record of racing.
Now, what were your thoughts on the package today? It was different than the duels package, produced a different kind of racing. Would you like to see that again in future plate races?
It was fun. Yeah, the only thing, it didn't really change much in my opinion. We just went a bit slower than before. There was still some good racing throughout the race.
Definitely. You guys went 4 wide for almost the whole lap. That was pretty insane.
I don't know how we died when I was in that 5 wide part.
Yeah, no one let off.
Yeah.
So a 9 caution race, pretty caution heavy. But tell me about the pit strategy that came into play, because there were some guys who stayed out 1 caution, pit the next. Do you think that had a big effect on the outcome of the race or no?
Well, as we got closer to the end, and as that caution came out towards the end, I think I just put everyone back together. Because if that last caution didn't come out, everyone's tires were gone by that point. So I think it would have been completely different if that never happened.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win, man.
Thank you.
You earned that deal. Anything else you want to say before we send you back to the VC celebrate with all your homies?
No. Other than for the first time, I actually didn't lag in a race.
Wow. That is.
Yeah, we actually I mentioned that there's a lot of screen freezing going on, but the one guy who had his screen freeze in the other races didn't have it happen today. So
yeah, that usually happens to me.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good win, man.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Super, what are your reflections on that race?
Well, it was a great race, I have to say that much, at least. But going into it, we picked Good Square, Remy, all those drivers, and Good Square came out on top. I mean, that's just how simple it is.
And we got Commander Remy. He's going to be coming in here for an interview in a moment. We're going to get that. But, I mean, congratulations to Good Square, man. That was a great finish, great race. And Commander Remy's in here now. Commander? Remy?
How you doing?
Hello.
Seen you race a lot before. Today came up just short. Tell me how it was out there.
It was really fun. Obviously XMS got top 3, which I'm super proud, and I'm just glad that we got our team so many points. I basically pushed Good Square to the win. Basically, so he's gonna have to pay me back for that.
Now, coming to the checkered flag, there was the wreck that happened behind y'all, right? And that kind of broke up the draft a little bit and caused the ending to be really, really frantic. At the end there, did you think you had a chance to win it?
Oh, no. Well, at lap 99...
when you got spun there.
Yeah, I got spun. I basically wow, I literally said my race is over. Then people just started doing stupid things, and I gained 8 positions. I didn't think I had enough time to get to the front, and I did somehow, but it was basically just Good Square, Sleasher, me. I think it was all based on luck. Everybody kept wrecking, and Sleasher was putting in some extremely aggressive moves, especially toward Isaiah and Good Square.
Yeah, I saw that at the end there. That ended up, that big block at the end there might have cost him the race too.
Oh yeah. If he would have just, I feel like he might be penalized for that. I gotta see what Icky says, but it kind of looked like he did that on purpose. So yeah. All
right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Anything else you want to say, man? Any questions Super asked for us? Super, you got any questions?
How did it feel coming up to that last lap? What was going through your head?
I was extremely focused. I could literally see nothing except for my monitor. I'm just please work out for me in my head. And
would you say it worked out for you?
Yes, it definitely did.
All right. Well, congratulations on the top 5 or top 3 actually.
Top 3, yeah.
Anything else you want to say before you head off?
Nope. Thank
All
you
right.
for
Well, thank you so much for your time, man. Always nice talking to you, Remy. Always nice watching you race in these mesh leagues and all.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations on top 3, man. And
Congrats.
also,
Thank you.
one more question.
Yeah.
You guys came in here with the super team, basically. Y'all had almost half the field on your side. Do you think that almost carries an expectation with it that you're going to do well?
Actually, yeah, because since we have so many people in the field, obviously, we can work together and we have a big advantage, and I think that we do have a high expectations at XMS to get good positions, especially from the outside. People want us to do good, so yeah.
Yeah, y'all had some big fans in chat, let me tell you. But yeah, congrats, man. Good race there, and it was real fun to watch. So thank you, and thank you for your time on the interview.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, mate. But yeah, that was not much else to say. The race, 8 cautions, 6 flips, quite an incredible race there.
Definitely.
What are your reflections?
Well, we had what, 4 flips, 6 cautions,
6 flips, 9
6
cautions.
flips, 9 cautions. Whew. You know, going into it, you really didn't think you were going to have that much. You know, being D1, you would expect them to keep their clean all throughout the race, or keep their cool all throughout the race and keep it clean.
I think it was clear early in the race, though. These guys were fighting for every position all the way through it, and I gotta say, I mean, can't diss them for that, you know.
Yeah, I know, but being D1, I mean, I'd expect that out of D2. You know, like wrecking a lot and not being so
I was a little bit surprised at the volume of cautions. I wasn't really surprised at the hardness of the racing. I was just surprised that it went wrong for people so many times, you know.
The aggressiveness was about on point with what I expected.
Yeah. Now, we saw that it kind of came down to 2 groups: the Extreme Motorsports guys and the guys who weren't in Extreme Motorsports at the end of it. And the Extreme Motorsports guys kind of just were track generals all the way through the race. Part of the issue with that, though, is that when they got separated, they all seemed kind of weak, you know? And it was really XMS versus everyone. That's what Blackstone said, apparently. And that's kind of what it came down to at the race. That whole like track general mentality. They were running this thing for most of the race. And right there at the end, though, those Fords got together, and I thought they had a really good shot. But in the end, it was the Toyotas. It was XMS, Extreme Motorsports, Good Square, the team owner, in his final season getting a win. I mean, we were talking about how there was 2 stories on that team. And that was the story that was more likely to come out, and that's the story that did come out. And I mean, they had to look at today and say that was an absolute success. You know, they came out here and they did exactly what they wanted to do. They got a top 3, they got a winner, they got everything. They basically swept this race, and that gives them so much momentum and so much confidence going into the rest of the season as a team that I think they will definitely be doing well next week. I believe next race is Atlanta.
Las Vegas.
And now we're being told to talk about. Oh, it's Las Vegas. We're being told to talk about the engines.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the engines are deceased, so we can't get them for an interview. I gotta say, I honestly thought these guys would be better at managing their engine temperatures after all the fun races, all the duels, the draft practice.
Same. I mean,
it was saying again. I mean, only 2 blew up during this race. Yeah, but it's 3 motors. There's 2 individuals, 3 motors.
3 motors.
Yeah. And when that happens, you know, those guys got to look at it. They got to take a step back. They got to look at it and see, what am I doing that's causing my motor to blow, and how to prevent that. That's how you get better at anything, especially Lego game NASCAR driving. I got one more quick topic to go through really quickly. I just want to talk about the training, you know, when everybody gets into one big line, right? A lot of people don't like that, and some people say it's boring and all. I honestly think that the training is incredibly interesting because the timing of your moves matters so much more when everybody's actually in one organized line. Because if you want to pick up one spot, you have to get another guy with you, and you have to time it perfectly. I believe that kind of nuanced driving and all can be lost at some points on people. But just so you know, when they're training, they're not just running around trying to burn off laps. They're trying to go for track position too. And you know what? I think it was a damn good race. Solid 9 out of 10 for me. A lot of wrecks, but
definitely
good. Anything else you want to say before we hand it off to the non-existent department because the race is over?
Back to the engines real quick. At the aggressiveness that they were racing at, I was really expecting more blowups.
Yeah, honestly, I was too. And, that was a lot of surprises this race. There were some things that didn't surprise us, some that did. But,
definitely.
that was a good broadcast, good race, really fun time. I'm AJ Schotterbeck, Aesthetical. You can find me on some social media somewhere, and you can find Super at other places because he's Super. Anything else you want to say, Super?
No. Thanks for watching.
Well, thank y'all for watching here on Jackal. We'll see you next week for the Las Vegas race, and y'all take care. Thank you.
Bye.
And 2, apparently. But, I mean, it's 2021. Who has a sense of time these days anyways? Come on. Come on, Nikki.